Great question. How and when should you raise your rates as a freelancer? And this is how I went from $20 an hour to $250 an hour. So when I first started off, I was charging $20 an hour, which was a huge pay raise from what I was making as an assistant in Hollywood. I was charging about I was making $15 or $16 an hour as an employee at a major studio, and it felt like, oh wow, I'm making so much money now as a freelancer. But one thing you need to keep in mind is, as a freelancer, your hourly rate needs to encapsulate health insurance, business expenses, and all of the other things that when you're an employee, your employer takes care of. So every time after I got a new client as a beginner freelancer, I would raise my rates. Because I started off working on Upwork, with every new client at a higher rate, I was showing the social proof that somebody was willing to hire me at a higher level and a higher rate. And so every time I got a new review at $20 an hour, I would raise my rates to $25 an hour, and then $30, and then $35. That way when people look through my work history, they saw, oh, people are already paying her close to this rate, so I don't mind paying a little bit more. And so you're kind of cementing your work history, and you're showing social proof by slowly raising your rates with every successful job and every new experience. A big misconception people make is, I can't charge more, my clients won't be able to afford my services, and I'm not going to be able to work with the cool nonprofits, B Corps, mission-driven companies that I want to work with. Or I want to work with creative companies and cool jobs. That's not going to be available to me at a higher rate. Wrong. What I found is that there are a ton of amazing jobs and a ton of amazing clients who are willing to pay me my rate of $250 an hour because they have gone the extra length that they needed to secure funding, to set aside funding for top talent. And that could be nonprofits going off after government grants. That could be clients, raising venture capital for their startup to make sure that they can hire really great copywriters and creative teams. So there's that huge misconception is not true. I'm working with really incredible clients, and that's not to say that you can't work with great clients at the lower levels, but what I found is that there's a lot more people who are trying to take advantage of you when you're charging $20 or $30 an hour, and when you're charging $250 an hour, people know that you have the experience to back up your rate, and they're willing to pay for experts, and they're willing to pay top dollar for talent that's not going to require a lot of hand-holding and that will really deliver. So when you're charging more, you are also needing to deliver more value and to have the experience to back up what you're charging, but you'll also find that you're going to find clients that are also at that level that you want to be working at. Follow me for more freelancing tips.